Okay, so we've completed putting all of our 6 beads on the bottom row like this. And now we need to be exiting. Oh, we're exiting in the right place. You probably would sew your toggle on at this point here on this other side. Once you've finished your toggle on this side, you'd sew your other half of your toggle on this side. So now we're going to be working with our little green 15-0s, or whatever color 15-0s you're using. I'm making this in these particular colors just to keep with the summer theme, like I said, but you can make this whatever color you want, and I think this would look really nice in black and silver, maybe a little color, a hint of some kind of a blue would look really sharp. Now, for this particular area, now we're going to pick up. We're exiting out of the top of our 8-0 here. So we're going to pick up 5 15-0s on our needle. You're going to go across into the next bead, but only into the first bead. And place your 5 on top like that. And I just wanted to mention, when I did make my base row, I did not use this white thread. I did use black fireline in between all the browns. That is why you cannot see my thread like you can in here. So keep that in mind to kind of use your color thread that coordinates with the color of your beads. I'm just using this so you can see what I'm doing. Pick up 5 more, or sorry, you're exiting here. Put your needle into the next bead, going back up, like so. So you're exiting out. Now pick up 5. 5 15s. Go across into the first bead. You don't need to go through all the 2 beads there. Go back up to the next bead. Oh my God. Sneezed on the camera, sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. It just came too fast. Alright, so we're exiting here. We picked up 5 beads and back down into the next 2 beads, or first bead of that group of 2 beads. And you're just going to keep doing this right across. Now, you can see how your beads aren't really sticking up nice and pointy. You got to keep moving them to stay up that way, so this middle one stays. I'm going to show you how to fix these so that they permanently stay that way. So you don't always have to keep fixing up the top of your beads here. See how they get out of wacky shape here? You don't want that to do that on that very tiny small trim. So pick up 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and drop down into the first bead. Go back up. Pick up 5. Drop down into the first bead. And back up in this bead. Pick up 5. And down. And this is all you're going to do right across the entire ladder stitch row that you did. Now, see how they're not sticking up nicely? They're just kind of like funny shaped. We'll fix all that up in a second. Now, your thread's exiting through here, your first bead. So what you're going to do, because we need to go right back up in here, and we're not going to go and weave our thread all the way through. I'll show you a little shortcut. So take your needle, go between, like you're making a half hitch knot. In fact, you're going to be making a half hitch knot, but you're going to make it between those 2. So make your loop, go through your loop twice, like so, and pull that knot in place, like that. And now take your needle and just go right back up into the brown bead and the first 2 green ones in that group of 5. Now to get these to stand up nicely, you're going to skip this bead. You're going to go kind of in behind it, and you're going to go down through the last 2 beads of that group of 5 and through the first 8-0 in the next row there. And then you're going to carefully pull your thread in behind that bead and pull it tight. That will lock this bead in place and stand up all the time. Actually, I wonder if we could do it this way. Save you guys some time and thread. I'm going to go back up this bead without snagging my thread, which I usually do. Splits it. Alright, it's just not going to work for me. I'm going to pull this. I want to get back up without splitting the Nymo, which is impossible because I always do. There. Oops. Let's see if this will work. Alright, it did. Now, you're just going to exit through these 2. You're going to pick up a green one, another 15-0. And you're just going to place a 15-0 between these 2 15s. So you're going to go back up into the next group, into the 2. And you're going to put that 15-0 right in there. Skip this middle one of the group of 5. And exit down through these 2. Keeping in mind your thread needs to go behind that green bead, the one you skipped, and pull it tight. Perfect. Pick up a 15-0, go across into the next 2, like so, and place that bead in between as well. And then skip the middle one and go down into the last 2, like so, keeping your thread behind and pull. So as you can see, it's allowing your beads to stay stuck at the top here, and that's what you want. Pick up your 115-0, filling in this little gap between them. Go through the first 2 in that group, pull that in place, skip this 3rd bead, and go in behind the last 2. Placing your thread behind that bead and standing it up. Pick up 115, go through the first 2. Make sure you kind of stretch your work out so that bead falls between your groups of 5 here, like this one hasn't yet. There we go. And pull that bead forward and go into those 2 and lock it in place. Pick up 1, up through these 2, put that bead in place between, bring your thread around, and you can kind of take your needle and push this bead forward, so when you pull your thread it'll go automatically behind it, hopefully. Like so. Okay, one more. Pick up 1 bead, up through the first 2, like so. Place that bead in between nicely, and skip your middle bead, and down through these 2. Alright, now if you've done this see, this is what's going to cause it to even curl a little bit, is this top row here. As you can see, this little piece is starting to curl now because I've pulled it in a little tighter up here. Now if you've sewed your toggle on both ends of this, you're going to weave your thread in between all your beads here, staying within these 8/0s here. Don't go down into these ones because you need to work in these. But try not to make too big of knots. Make one loop and one wrap and pull it off, and then go through a few beads and keep doing that about 3 times. And then cut your thread off. So I'm just going to cut my thread off because I'm really not using this sample piece. And I'm going to use this to make the flowers. Now, for the flowers, they're going to be exactly the same as what we did on the Garden of Love bracelet. The only thing is now they're not attached to anything just yet. So you're going to be working with them in your hands. So you're going to pick up 5 of your center beads, and I'm using yellow, as I've done in all of the videos. You're going to bring those down, leaving yourself a little tail. If I don't mention about a tail, that means you're not going to use your tail for any particular reason other than to leave it long enough to weave it in, tie it off, and cut it off. That's it. So you've gotten your 5 beads on here. You're going to run your needle through all 5 beads to make a circle. And I don't need a big long tail like this. I'm leaving about a 2.5 inch tail. I'm just leaving it long enough that I can tie some knots with it. And then I'm going to come back through the first 2 beads of that yellow row. So I've made a little circle like that. Okay, now you're going to use some of your 15/0 beads again. I'm using green. You're going to pick up 3, same as you did in the garden flower. You're going to make a circle. Oops, turn this around. And you're going to go right back through that yellow bead in the same direction that you're exiting, like so. And then you're going to put your needle through the next yellow bead beside that, like so, and pull nice and tight. So make sure that these 3 beads are sitting nicely over top of the 11/0 that you're doing, working in. Pick up 3 more. Now to make this a little quicker for you, exit through there the same direction and then catch your needle and go through the next one, so you're in position to start your next stem here of 3. Pick up 3 more. Go through the bead the same way your thread's exiting, and exit through the next bead as well. And I'm making sure mine are sitting nicely on top. Pick up 3 more. Go through this bead, the next one, and exit. Pick up 3 more. And now you're going to exit through that last yellow bead and through the first yellow bead you worked out of, where there's already a group of 3 over top. Alright? So this is what you should have. Your 5 groups of 3 green. Now you're exiting this way, and you're just going to bring your needle back up through the first 2 green beads. So you're exiting out of the middle of your first group of 3 beads, like so. Then you're going to take your first color, or whatever color you're using, and you're going to pick up 3 of them. In this case I'm using red. And I like to turn my work around because I like to work in a clockwise direction. I have a hard time working counterclockwise, so I just flip my work around if it's allows me to do that, and kind of tuck my tail in behind. So you're exiting out of this middle green one. You're going to jump across to the next group of 3 greens, And you're going to go into the middle bead like so. And pull that through. Pick up 3 more of your color beads, your Toho 11-Os. Jump across into the group of 3 middle bead. Pick up 3 more. This tail's a pain in my butt. But you don't want to cut your tail off because I'm going to show you how to weave that in. Picked up 3, go across into the next group of 3 middle one like so. Pull it. Pick up 3, skip across into the next group of 3, pulling nice and tight. Now pick up your last group of 3. You're exiting out of this green one right here. You're going to go back into that green one and step up into the first colored Toho you put on. So I'm going through that red one, the very first red one. So I'm exiting here, okay? Pick up 3 more of your Tohos, skip this middle bead, and exit your needle through the last bead in that group of 3 to make your first peak. So you've got your 3 beads sitting on top like that. Now you're going to pick up 1 green one, like so. You're exiting here, skip this middle group of green and go into the next red, the first one in the next group of 3. So you're going to place your green bead in the middle, pulling nice and taut. Pick up 3 more of your Tohos. Skip the middle red one, go into the next red one, and put that flower point there. Pick up a green one, jump across into the next group of 3, and place the green bead in between your petals. Sometimes you might have to work your points up like that as well. Now, pick up 3 more. You're exiting here, exit into the next. We're skipping the middle bead, going into the last bead of that group of 3. Pick up a green one, skip across into the first red bead, making your flowers. And pick up 3 more, skip the middle one, go into the last one, and pick up a green one. Skip across into the next group of 3, and now pick up your last 3 red beads. Skip the middle, go into the end one, and pick up 1 green one. Now this is where you've put on your last petal. You're going to skip across, go into the very first bead, and into the first 2 beads of the very first group of 3 you put on in that second row of colored. And you should be exiting out of the tip of one of your flower peaks, like so. Okay. Now, this is where we're going to attach this to our bracelet. So I'm going to be working with these little green ones again, these little 15s. As you can see, I've attached them as I made them. Alright, so I'm going to put this bracelet here so you can see. You're going to pick up 4 15-Os, and you're going to put your needle. I'm going to go in this direction because it's going to be a lot easier for me. Let me move this out of the way here so you can see what I'm doing. So there's 6 beads on this bottom stitch here. So you're going to put your needle through. count 2, skip these 2 here, and you're going to go through the 2 middle beads here. So there's 2 here on this end, 2 in the middle, and 2 on this side. And you're going to bring your flower up into there like so. Then you're going to pick up 4 more of your 15 O's. Now very carefully, looking at the placement of where you exited on your flower, you still need to make a circle. So you're exiting here, you came in on this side, so make sure you exit your needle this way, okay, to make your loop. Trying to show you this the best way possible. Okay, let me see if I can just do this carefully so you can see. And don't pull this super tight. Okay, that's why I'm using Nymo thread, is because I want these to dangle. You don't want them to bunch up in here like really bad. You want to be able to see that. See? I left movement in all my flowers so I can fix the stems. Okay, so you've exited through your flower this way. Now you're just going to repeat this and go through this again. So back up through these first 4 you put on, keeping in a circle, not pulling it super tight. Well, you can't really see much thread, but you can tell that that is not tight. And it's really awkward to work like this because my thread snags on my finished pieces. Okay, so we've gone through these 4 beads here. Now go through the 2 center brown beads and back down through the 4 on the side here, like so. Don't pull it super tight. Now, that's it. You only need to go around this twice. Now we want to meet our thread right here with this end one, this tail here. We want to bring our thread down. We want to weave our thread down so we can tie this off. So you are going to exit through your center bead of the peak of your flower, like, ouch, like that. Trying not to pull this tight because I don't want my green beads to bunch up on the side. So keeping it loose. Now you're just going to go back down through the 2 reds, and you're back. If you go straight down your red, you'll see there's a green one right at the bottom of that. Snag that green one with your thread as well, your needle, and pull this through. Okay? And now, when we exit out of the next green one right below it, in that group of 3, we are now right there with our tail. So now you're just going to take both these ends and tie a surgeon's knot, which is twice around the loop. Tie it tight. And I'm going to wrap it again. And tie it tight. Now you are welcome to dab your knot off with glue, but I'm not going to. So now all I'm going to do is weave my thread all the way around to pull the knot inside these yellow beads. I'm only working out of the center beads for this knot. So pull that in, pull your knot inside your beads like that, and it's hidden. And now you're just going to go all the way around, weaving your thread. And I don't think you're going to get through that bead again because now that knot is sitting inside, unless you have a super small needle, which I do, and it worked. So I'm just going to weave around a couple of times like this, and I'm cutting my threads off. So this is completely weaved in now and secured. Like so. Okay? So let's cut these off, these tails. And there's your flower, start of one of your flowers on. And I did happen to pull this tight by mistake. And that's it for putting your flowers on. So I will show you again how to do that. Okay. Pick up 5 of your center beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 center beads. In this case again, yellow. And you're going to go right back through from the tail up, all through 5 of those beads. Make a circle. And then you're going to go through. This is your tail, this is here, and you're just going to go through the first 2. And then you should have a nice, perfect circle. Okay? Pick up 3 green ones on your needle and go through your bead and the next bead, making a circle. I'm exiting out this way. I'm going back into the same direction my thread's exiting, like so, and putting those 3 beads on top. Okay, pick up 3 more green. Go back through your beads, like so, and place those 3 green on top. And exit through the next yellow if you didn't take it in that one pass. Pick up 3 more. Go through 2 beads. Make your life a little easier. And beading a little quicker. Pick up 3 more. Through here. And pick up 3 more. And now you're going to exit on your last pass through your bead, where your thread's coming out of, and through the next one. And then you have your 3 points, 3 petals, or 5 petals done. Now you're going to bring your needle back up this way. You're exiting over here, so it only makes sense that you have to go back up this way through the first 2 beads. And keeping in mind my color choices here, I am doing, I've done my red, so I'm down to my last 5 flowers. So I'm going to do orange next. So let me bring some orange beads over here. Exiting out of the middle of that first group of 3, see? Pick up 3 of your colors, go across into the middle bead of that group of 3 and pull. Pick up 3 and my tail, get you out of there. Cross into the next group of 3 into the middle one and pull. 3 and pull. Pick up 3, give it a turn, and exit in that one. Pick up 3, and now you're going to exit into the first green one you were coming out of and into the first orange one. So you're kind of stepping up. And there's what you should have, a funky shaped circle. Alright. Pick up 3. Oh my god, these little tiny dog hairs are driving me nuts. Okay, go skip the middle one, go into the last one on that group of 3 and exit through there. Now you're going to pick up a 15-0 and you're going to exit into the first bead of the next group of 3. Placing the green one in between. Keeping your work pulled nice and snug. Pick up 3 more, skip the middle one into the last one, place that there. Pick up a 4-15-0, go across into the next group of 3, and keeping my work pulled nice and snug, pick up 3, go across, skipping the middle one, pick up a 15-0 into the next group of 3, pick up 3 yellow, orange, whatever color you're using, skip the middle into the last one, and pick up a green one, or a 15-0, and go across into the next group of 3. And then you're going to pick up your last 3 of your color, skipping the middle, going into the end one, pick up your last 15-0, skip this green one, go into the very first bead you came out of, and through the first 2 of the last row. So you're in the middle of your peak of your flower, like this. Okay. Now you're going to take your necklace or bracelet, whatever piece you're working on, and you're going to add your flower in here now. It goes quite quickly. These make up really fast, so you're going to pick up 4 15s, and you're going to work back towards all your flowers. This is the direction I'm going in. You can go this way, but I'm used to doing it this way. Okay, making sure that my loop is going circular. So pick up 4 15s. Here's where my thread's exiting on this side of the bead. I'm going to go in on the other side of the bead. So I'm making a circle. Like that. Okay, and then you're just going to come up through the 4 beads. Like so. Through the 2 middle brown ones again. Alright, I've snagged the other flower in this. There we go. You're going to find a lot of that, snagging stuff. And it wrapped around here. Alright, it's going to do a lot of this on you. Now, we've gone around twice and we want to exit our needle right out of where this tail is coming out of. So, we're still at the top here. We need to go down through these 4 15s, through the loop, or through the bead where we are making our loop, and then just follow your needle right down to through all 3 of those on the side like that. Because now we're headed down towards where the green is. Making sure we don't pull this super tight. My tail is caught. Here we go. And now you can see it's exiting out of this yellow bead here, right here. And we have these 2 green ones that we need to go through because they're in that row, or in that green one, or where that group of 3 green beads is we put on. So we're staying within our thread path. And you're going to exit through those 2 green ones. And now you're just going to tie this into a surgeon's knot. And this is why you don't need to leave a huge long tail, because you're weaving in your thread ends and you're not having a whole bunch of threads sticking out that you have to go back and weave all of them through. So I don't bother with that. Like I said, you can put a dab of glue on that, but where your knot's closest to the bead, go into that bead and pull your knot inside so your knot's hidden in there. Okay, and then just go through all these beads however many times you want, how many times it'll allow you. Sometimes you can't get back through this first bead where your knot is. I'm pushing my luck here. And I'm going to try and go through it. But it's there. That's pushing my luck. Alright, and I'll go through these two and then I'll cut my threads off. This one too. Alright, so we are done our flowers. And cut my threads. And I cut a nice long length of Nymo thread just so I can keep continuing making my flowers. And that's it. That's all you do to add on all of these, and you continue. I got 3 more to put on, and then my bracelet is done. Like I said, when you're making this and you've decided to make a necklace, it's definitely a lot of beading, I can tell you that. But the best part about this is not having all of those threads to go back in and weave them all in. If you continuously to do each one as you add it, like I did here, and finish it off like that, you're not going to have a whole bunch of threads to go back in and have to weave in, because that, I hate that so much. So I like to weave in as I go, and I just thought that would be a lot easier. Well, I hope this bracelet necklace pattern, keeping within our summer, you enjoyed making this, and I really hope that if you make this, that you post a picture on Facebook page I Bead for You, so I can see this, what you've done. And I love to see it in different colors. That would be really beautiful. Like I said too before, if you want, skip a group here and dangle something off. You can even dangle a crystal off. If you're making this lace so beautiful flat against the neck, these are not going to move around on you. They're going to stay pretty straight like this on your neck. And if you hang a little crystal, and if you want to make this to go on an evening out, and you want a little tiny bit of sparkle, I would just add a nice crystal in between each one instead of putting a flower on every single one. Sometimes a little bit of imagination, and let your imagination run wild, you can make something up like this. So I really hope you've enjoyed this summer blossom bracelet, necklace, whatever you want to call it. This is just my bracelet, but and again, if you want to make yourself some earrings, you always can try different ways. You can probably just make it single, one flower, but I find it too flimsy. So if you were making this for an earring, if you have matching beads in an 8/0, we might even try this in an 8/0. Might work too. Anyways, I hope you all liked this and enjoyed this and this fun project. And the next video that I'll be doing a tutorial on will be on this really pretty ring that I made. And I love the band on it. I just love the colors. I'm a purple person, so I love it. So it's going to be a tutorial on this. It's nice and flat. It's not going to snag on anything. It's different. And this would make a really gorgeous pair of earrings or pendant. But this is the piece here. This is the ring here. It's not too big. There's the back of the ring. And the front. So that's my next tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy that. This is another kind of like a flower blossom of some kind, staying within the summer theme. And I'll see you soon on the next video. Have a great week, or a great day, or however long is in between these videos to the next. I'm trying to get as many posted as possible, so I'll see you soon on the next video. Bye-bye.